Hi there, Karen here. I thought it was time to update you on my 50-week project, as I'm now halfway through. I've got up to week 25 and Alyssa is accordingly 6 months old now. And so I finished the last update at 15 weeks. This is the little album I'm using in case you haven't seen it before, and every week I'm recording my weekly visits to my granddaughter Alyssa in the form of a little letter and just a single little page spread, just to record the little special times that we have together on my weekly visits. This is a book I bought in Paperchase, which is a stationery shop here in the UK, and it's working out really well. And I just do a single page each week, and I record the date at the top. This is from week 16, so this is in August. And I just print off my photos on my little zip printer. And this is the printer I use, and it prints off the photos on a 3x2 format, as you can see, nice small pictures, perfect for using in this little book. So each page is just decorated here and there with a few little bits. On this page I just used some really pretty washi, floral washi, just to kind of cheer up the page, because I always have to leave myself a nice amount of space for the journaling and for the photographs. So there's never a huge amount of embellishment needed on these pages. So this is just one of my normal visits when we'd gone into town and had some lunch together, and yeah, just had some fun playing and laughing together. She is just adorable and so lovely to play with. Today we were having a lovely cuddle, and see, I've used some stamps in the background, some floral stamps, and that's all I've used on here, and a couple of little embellishments in the corners just to pick out the colours in the photos, really. So I had used some hearts and some flowers here. And she was 4 months old here, and she's learning to explore people's faces, so she was really enjoying putting her hands in my mouth and having a good old poke around in there, she was. So that was really fun. And there's a lovely picture of Jenny cuddling her daughter. They're so happy with each other. This picture was taken on my birthday. They came over to my house, so which is why I've gone for the bunting look. So I had some bunting washi, and then I had a bunting stamp, so I've just stamped it across here in different colours to make it look all birthday themed. And it was lovely. They came over and we all went out for lunch on that day, and it was a really special day. She was so adorable, as always, of course. So that was this day. Then the following week, she's starting to explore with her feet. So she was laying with her feet in the air most of the time, and she's really just starting to reach out and explore her world at this stage, and reaching for toys and playing. I didn't have any cuddles that day because I had a bit of a cold, so I just enjoyed watching her play. And I just cut out these, it's just I think some vellum that I had, a little piece of vellum with some beautiful roses, which had got a bit of foil, gold foiling on, as you can see, just picking out the shape in the roses. So I just fussy cut a few of those out and put them around the page, and then I did a border, a black border, just to finish it off. On this page I used there were supposed to be rub-ons. They are little hands and feet, and we'd gone away for the weekend with the family, and this was the first time I'd seen her having her bath. She was really quite beginning to enjoy her bath. She looks a bit serious here, but actually she was quite enjoying it, and she was having a good old. So she wasn't used to having somebody watching her with a camera, I don't think, when she was in the bath. So she was looking a bit serious. And I tried to do these rub-ons. I thought the hands and feet were appropriate to the fact that she was having her bath. But it's quite an old sheet, and they just would not rub off. I rubbed and rubbed and rubbed. So I ended up having to cut round the shapes and stick them on. So that was a bit laborious. I just did a couple of little bits of washi either side and a few hearts. So yeah, that was a bit of a pain. I didn't really enjoy doing that. But once I'd started, I had to keep on going. So that was that page. This was also the same weekend, so although it's I actually did 2 pages for the over this weekend, it kind of fell into the second week because this one was on the Thursday when we first arrived, and then I took this on the Saturday, which kind of takes me into the next week, although I did have another visit that week as well. So I had two for week 21, which is going to happen occasionally when I see her a bit more. This was when we were actually on our weekend away. My husband and I were sitting with her one morning and reading books, and she loves being read to. And I just decorated it with some stickers that I have in my stash, some with pink flowers, and just made it look fun and pretty to pick out the colours in the photos. And that was a really lovely time we had together, just singing nursery rhymes and reading a book. So that was lovely. And I've got some stickers here. Finding happiness and more of this is what that says. And this is a bit later that week when we'd all gone home, but I'd gone to visit her. So it's still week 21. And we were laying on the floor together, and she still enjoys putting her feet in the air and grabbing her toes. So I decided to lay on the floor and join her. So we had a bit of a laugh together with me, Nana laying on the floor, kicking her legs in the air, the same as Alyssa. And we just had a bit of fun on the floor together. It was the first time I'd actually got down there with her. I wasn't sure I could. And I wasn't sure I could get up again afterwards, but I did manage. But that was quite fun. And I just used a stencil here with XOXOXO all over it, which I put behind there, and lots of XOs down the side, and then couple of little flowers in the corners, and the same colour again as a border, as an edge border. So that was week 21. This week, she came over to visit. She and her mum came over to see me. And it was the first time she rolled from her back to her front. No, her front to her back, that's right. She was on her front, and she was just about to roll over, and she managed it. She went right over. And I missed it the first time, but I managed to get a picture of her the second time, and she was so pleased with herself. We were all cheering. And that was a lovely moment to see her do that for the first time. And I'll just put a few bits of washi behind here to pick out the colours that she's wearing. And I used some gold. It's probably not very easy to see, but I actually used a gold pen for my journaling on this page, and a bit of gold splatters with Heidi Swapp Colour Shine. So just for a bit of different, and used the gold pen just to edge the page as well, just do a border. So that was a really fun day, watching her doing her rolling over. So she's really coming along now, just growing and learning new things all the time. And then the following week I went to see her swimming for the first time. She started a couple of weeks before, and I was able to go and watch her this particular week. And as you can see in this picture, she was really pleased to see me. She gave me a lovely wave where she kind of put her arm up when she saw me, and a big grin when she saw me there when they got into the pool. And it was lovely to watch her in the pool and really enjoying herself. She's having lots of fun with that, not learning to swim exactly, but learning to enjoy the water. That was a lovely afternoon. Really enjoyed that. And I've got this stencil that looks a little bit, I think it looks a bit like water, sort of a wavy stencil. So I used that here to give the impression of the water and the bubbles here going up the side. Because one of the things that they do is that they walk along and the mummies blow bubbles into the water, and she thought that was hilarious. So that was lovely. And right, the next week, now she started weaning, so she was in her high chair. First time I'd seen her in a high chair, and she was having some pureed broccoli here. And that was fun to see. And she really seemed to quite like it. Who knew that she would love her broccoli? And I just used a bit of washi and a couple of flowers here because she's got a red bib on, and I thought it'd be nice to have the red just to bring that out. So yeah, she's getting a big girl. Nearly 6 months in this picture, and just starting to have a little bit of food. So that's really cute. And unfortunately, the week afterwards, she had a bit of a tummy upset, and I think the food might not have agreed with her, or something didn't agree with her. So she wasn't feeling too good this week when I went to visit. This was last week. She was feeling a little bit down. She was still smiley, but she wasn't her lively self. So we just had a nice cuddle, and she played with her toys, and she was fine, but she just wasn't her normal self. In fact, we had to take her to the doctor that day. So I did perhaps a more subdued page on this page. So I used a stamp here with some purple ink and some little purple flowers, because that picks out some of the purpley colours in the background of the photo. And I just put a couple of stickers on that said "Be brave and stay strong," because they seemed appropriate. Bless her. She was not herself, but she's fine now. I think she had some, pear. She had some pureed pear, and they decided that wasn't doing her any favours. So she was being very brave and very cute. And that's it. That's week 25, 6 months old. We're halfway there. And I'm quite proud that I'm still managing to keep up with it. I'm managing to do one every week. Occasionally I do 2 in a row. But most weeks I manage to do it because it's only small. It's very easy to do. And just to say what happened that day. And there's always something happening on each occasion. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for joining me. I should probably leave it a bit longer and probably just do only a couple more just to bring it all to a close. Although I imagine there might be quite a few pages covering Christmas, so we'll see what happens. So that's my little book. That's my 50-week project up to date. Thank you very much for joining me, and do subscribe if you feel so inclined. Bye.